Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. I am Andrew White. This is my Tech 460 final project, the SmartAir Sentinel. The purpose of this project is to increase the efficiency of service and decrease the downtime of non-smart enabled HVAC units. Currently, the process for reporting issues with your HVAC is the client must experience these issues themselves and then relay that information to Dormar. This makes the service technician come out and do a diagnostics on the HVAC units and then possibly order parts, which could take a few days. It could take a few days for them to get out there. The proposed solution with these IoT sensors is that they will be able to record and monitor the errors prior to, and that would allow them to order parts or make preparation or have their special tools before they make the trip. Now, Dormar does provide other services such as plumbing and electrical, but HVAC seems to be their bread and butter, and it's the focus of this IoT application. Let's take a quick moment to look at the problem statement. Okay, let's move on to the technology section or selection and design. The problem we're trying to solve here is to get better monitoring on our systems, our HVAC systems, and our first solution we're going to look at here are smart furnaces. Smart furnaces have a very easy operation, it's just the install. The problem is the availability is only for end-of-life units or new homes where you need an entirely new unit. Therefore, the cost is going to be pretty high, ranging 50 to 20K, 5 to 20K. 5K would only be if you're installing for yourself. Implementation issues, this should be pretty straightforward. You only really need the internet connection. There's not a lot of install going on here. And overall, it's a pretty good benefit to the company, but this would be putting the power more into some other third party that's offering the unit and not Dormar themselves. The second proposed solution is the IoT add-on. This comes with some problems of its own, but solves some of the other problems from solution one. Most notable, the operation. You're going to have to retrain the techs in order to be able to install these sensors and these new units. The availability is much higher now. As you don't need a whole new unit, you can have existing HVAC units and just be able to apply the IoT application or the IoT solution onto itself. Also, the cost is much less, ranging 300 to 600. I was just basing it off of standard prices of replacing other parts and blower motors, including with the time for the technician. Implementation issues notable here as well as the sensors would the value add from the sensors is highly dependent on the install itself. Overall, solution 2 is the more suitable solution as it gives Dormar a more unique approach to solving these issues and a better service and higher quality to their clients. The high-level design here is that the IoT reports an issue with the furnace, relays that to Dormar, a tech evaluates the issues, codes, and metrics, gets items and tools needed to complete the job, and heads over to solve the problem. Now going into the implementation plan, this is just going to be covering the research and development on the IoT devices, sensors, and controllers, and power sources. It's also going to be analyzing different infrastructures as far as the web application and the cloud providers. Now we move on to the schedule or work breakdown structure. Phase 1 is planning and requirements. We're going to be meeting and testing out different ideas of how we're going to implement. Phase 2 is the IoT sensor development. That's different controllers, different power units. Phase 3 is the web app development, where we're going to focus on the infrastructure and exactly how we're going to build the web application. Phase 4 is the quality assurance and testing. And Phase 5 is deployment with continued monitoring. Next, we move to validation, where this would be unit testing, functional testing of the IoT sensors, and also the test-driven development, making sure we have 80% code coverage on our web applications. Seeing the forest past the technological tree, we would be focusing on legal. This would be telling the clients that they are still responsible for the safety of their home and their units. Ethically, we are taking in a lot of personal information and data. We need to be worried about data governance. And culturally, we should ensure the accessibility to differently abled individuals. I would like to give a big thanks to my peers in Group 7 for giving me feedback and improving my overall presentation. Now, for career readiness, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to lead in this project, to do the analysis on the company, research and develop on the two different solutions, and be able to create the work schedule breakdown. All that was a great experience that I can't wait to leverage in my future employment. Looking forward, this IoT based monitoring system could really provide more using ML AI driven analytics to predict end of life for a lot of the components in HVAC units.